Good evening, everyone. Namaste, Sasrikal, Salam Alaikum. So, देवी और सज्जनों, आपका स्वागत है विनीत पांडे लाइव क्लास में। माफी चाहूंगा, आपको 5 मिनट देर कर दवा दी। आई बिलीव आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है। एक्चुअली this is 7 o'clock timing, so most of the families offer prayers. So my mother asked me to fold hands and do some prayers, and I was like, मैंने कहा मम्मी थोड़ा पढ़ा लूं, पढ़ाना भी प्रेयर ही एक तरीके से। तो शी सेड कि 2 मिनट हाथ जोड़ के जाओ। किशोर कादरी, आप डायरेक्टली वहीं क्यों नहीं ज्वाइन कर लेते हो यार? यहाँ पे कोई क्या बताएगा? अगर ये पढ़ने आए हैं तो ऑब्वियसली दे लव मी। Shubhang Mishra, 90% chances exam will be waiting for postpone. Why don't you study and prepare? अरे क्या फर्क? See, something which is inevitable. So don't wait for that thing to be postponed. Prepare. Readiness is all. Who said that? Hamlet. Hamlet said, readiness is all. Que sera sera. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. So remember this point. Be ready. वॉरियर्स जो है ना, वो लड़ाई कैंसिल होने का वेट नहीं करते हैं। Altaf Nizamani, you have a question that why do I mix up the pronunciation of is and as? So first of all, I come from a very Sarkari school where we would get midday meal. So we never had classes on pronunciation. We never had classes on writing skills, punctuation, calligraphy. And in fact, we didn't know how to write in cursive handwriting. So simply my basic education was from government school, government college, and you know the condition of government school and government college in a rural area. And second answer मैं आपको दे दूंगा. How many of you know that you also make mistakes in pronunciation? How many of you know that you do wrong pronunciations? How many of you know that you are sometimes really bad in grammar? How many of you feel that you are not having confidence to speak in English? चलो सबको एक साथ आंसर देते हैं. He has asked me a very good question. तो अभी हम बात करते हैं सबसे. संदीप जी, लाइफ सबकी एक जैसी चल रही है यार, टेंशन मत लो. अनु मालिया, yes, Bagadi touch, Punjabi touch, Marathi touch. I do. Come on, yes, everybody has that. Yes. Though we have a record that we people speak better English than the Britishers themselves because we take it as something, something prestigious thing, and they take it as a language. Shweta Ugriya, we will definitely work on paper solvings, but let me tease them first. पहले मेरी army को prepare तो करूँ. These are my army. This is my student. So if these guys should, yes. So now we go for the answer. I'll tell you a very funny incident when I was in Jammu. So one of my students from online batch, he came to me with a great zeal to meet me, and was very much inquisitive. So he said, Vineet sir, please don't mind, but I actually feel like you have some kind of wrong pronunciation. So I was like, okay. And then he said, a great teacher like you should not do these things. Then I said, sir, can you say the same thing in Hindi? उसने कहा, sir, आप इतने महान टीचर हो, you are a great teacher, and थोड़ा सा ढंग से बोला करो. I said, why there is a big difference the way you speak in English? मैंने कहा, सर आपने इंग्लिश बोला अंग्रेजी में और हिंदी बोला आपने हिंदी में. Which is the original one language? He said, sir, Hindi. मैंने कहा, did you think, ponder and put special efforts to speak in Hindi? Or you actually put special efforts to speak in English? He said, sir, I put special efforts to speak in English. Then I said, why didn't you speak in English in your Hindi accent. He said that is wrong. English should be spoken just like the English do. I said, who said that? The English said that. The Britishers said that. So I said, brother, you are typically colonized. Always remember this thing, if you are running after the right pronunciation, you are a man who is colonized. The language teachers, the language speaker should try. But we are not language teacher, language speaker. We are literary students. And you know, remember this thing, the first accent is the real accent, the mother language, the mother tongue. If you remember a famous story, a person came in the court of King Akbar and asked him to find out the first language. He spoke very good Telugu. Everybody said that Telugu is his mother language. Then he spoke in Malayalam. Then he spoke in Kashmiri. With the flow of accent, he spoke in Punjabi. Everybody was confused. Then Birbal was called. So Birbal went close to that man and with a needle, he just pinched him. So when he poked him with the needle, he started shouting in Punjabi. He said, "Oh, mar gaya, marta mainu." And Birbal said, his mother language is Punjabi. So always remember that our mother language is not only a language, not a dead language. In fact, it's very much connected to our emotions. ये मैं आपको पढ़ाऊंगा linguistics में. So hope you understood. Always remember, if somebody, English is just a language. And I told you that we Indians speak better English than the Britishers because we take it something very, hi-fi, something very reputed thing, while the Britishers take it in only as a language. It's just a language. It's okay. And moreover, what my mother says in Hindi, I will apply in post-colonial studies. कौवा चला हंस की चाल और अपनी चाल भी भूल गया. किसको समझ में आया? कौवा चला अपनी चाल और हंस की चाल और अपनी चाल भी भूल गया. समझ में आया? कौवा चला हंस की चाल और अपनी चाल भी भूल गया. बोलो. MB, क्या बात है. So if you are a crow, those who are understanding me in English, my mother says that कौवा चला हंस की चाल और अपनी चाल भी भूल गया. So if you are a crow, but you're trying to be a swan, then you will end up losing your identity as a crow. So you will never become the swan, but the identity of the crow will also be lost by you. So better be Indian. Don't be the burger family. Neither English nor Indian. We are not the purest Indian. We are trying to be the English people. So always respect the way you speak and never ever judge a person on the basis of pronunciation. Pronunciation should be only as a subject thing for the language experts. And one more thing. एक कड़वा सच बताओ. खास चीज. 90% students exactly have no idea about the right pronunciation. This is the reason the remaining 10% just imitate, copy, blind copy the accent and befool the 90%. Now the simplest way. Do you want to learn the simplest way to speak like Britishers? अगर आपको कभी भी लगता है कि I want to have accent, मुझे मस्त English में बोलना है, बढ़िया वाला, I want to speak in a very fluent English accent, and it's the simple way that I'm telling you. Take a chewing gum or something like that, keep it here. कुछ भी मुंह में दबा लो, गुटखा उटका, I mean no support to गुटखा, chewing gum ले लो, and then speak. Who knows right pronunciation? Hey man, this is Vineet Pandey. I'm going to teach you right here. So in fact, my dear friends, we're going to talk about, this is artificial. This is India. India is scared of English language, so people have fake accent and they try to impress you. बहुत सारे fake accent में आपको बेवकूफ बनाते हैं. Accent के चक्कर में बेवकूफ मत बनो. Then I will teach you post-colonials. You will understand that English is not a language in India. It's a class. And that is the worst thing. We have accepted English language as a class. How many of you have seen Hindi medium? In Hindi medium, that lady says to her husband that English in India is a class and this is the worst thing, this is the thing we have to fight. इसी चीज से हमें लड़ना है, ये याद रखो, इसी को हमें हराना है. कभी देखा आपने एडवर्टाइजमेंट? क्या आपसे लड़की बात नहीं करती है? क्या आप गर्लफ्रेंड बनाना चाहते हैं? क्या आप सक्सेसफुल होना चाहते हैं? क्या आप बॉस को इम्प्रेस करना चाहते हैं? आज ही सीखिए अंग्रेजी 90 डेज में. भैया सारी चीज में अंग्रेजी कहां से आ गई? Have you ever thought about these things? The advertisements of spoken English centers, they actually highlight your problems. So you are single, have no girlfriend, you are don't impress your boss, you want to look cool, you want to look classy, join today and learn super fast English in 90 days. अगर अंग्रेजी से चलता ना ऐसे 90 डेज में, तो हम अंग्रेजों को स्पोकन पढ़ा रहे होते. और ये एक मिनट पारुल अग्रवाल, दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन लर्नर्स एंड यू. आपको पता ही नहीं चल रहा कि मैं पढ़ा रहा हूं. पारुल को लग रहा है कि मैं वो पढ़ूं जो मुझे लिखने को समझ में आए. पारुल अग्रवाल, विनीत पांडे इज डिलीवरिंग अ लेक्चर ऑन पोस्ट colonials. Just because it is very easy and simple thing, you are thinking I'm wasting time. This is Anglophilia that I have actually talked about. This is also the problem of a learner. उसको लगता है कि जब तक टफ चीज नहीं है तब तक पढ़ाई नहीं है. अरे पोस्ट का लेक्चर फोकट में मिल रहा है, बी हैप्पी. कम से कम दोबारा कोई आपको इंसल्ट नहीं करेगा एक्सेंट के नाम पे. चलो लेट्स गेट बैक. अब पारुल की बात भी मान लेते हैं. हमारी स्टूडेंट है पारुल. क्वेश्चंस. वर्ड्सवर्थ, कॉलरिज, साउदे, बायरन, शेली, कीट्स. Write their birth date in separate messages. चलो लेट्स सी. थैंक यू मोहम्मद सामरीन, थैंक यू. चमत्कारी अंगूठी. अच्छा कोई बिजनेस कर रहा है मेरे पास. माय मदर गिव मी. थैंक यू इन लव, थैंक यू. प्लीज गो फॉर आंसर. कम ऑन आंसर. प्रज्ञा अग्रवाल प्रॉपर लिखो, टाइमिंग वर्ड्सवर्थ के साथ लिखो. ऐसे नहीं. अब्दुल अजीज वेरी गुड. वर्ड्सवर्थ 1770. राइट इन सिंगल मैसेज गाइड, राइट इन सिंगल मैसेज. आई वांट टू सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू रिमेंबर एवरीथिंग. बायरन 1778 रॉन्ग. रोहित चेक करो दोबारा से. थैंक यू एंड लव. आर्कियोलॉजी ऑफ कश्मीर 1772 कॉलेज, बहुत बढ़िया. नीति पांडे बहुत. नीति पांडे हैज रिटन रॉन्ग आंसर. बायरन इज 1788 नीति. आलिया गुप्ता हैज रिटन राइट आंसर. नोबडी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट सऊदे. कोई साउथ. वेरी गुड रोहित, बहुत बढ़िया. सऊदे 1774. केतन चौधरी स्पेलिंग चेक करो कॉलेज का. गलत है बेटा, स्पेलिंग ठीक करो. दीक्षा अवस्थी 1770, 1772, 1788. एक भूल गई भाई लड़की, ऑफलाइन बैच की स्टूडेंट है ये. बट लुक एट दीक्षा अवस्थीज आंसर. इनका आंसर देखिए. आई आस्क्ड यू ना कि एक साथ लिखो. शी हैज रिटन द आंसर इन राइट वे. Diksha, you have forgotten Saude. Don't forget Saude. Saude was the man who coined the term zombie. Don't forget Saude. Saude is also, one of the famous people. Good. Very good. In which year Coleridge and Wordsworth met each other and wrote lyrical ballads? Two things. In which year they met? In which year they wrote lyrical ballads? Come on, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Very good, Sara, बहुत बढ़िया. निरंजन, very good. अच्छा आप तो बर्थ डेट लिख रहे हो. 1795. विनोद, very good विनोद. साइमा, बहुत बढ़िया. Very nice साइमा भट्ट. नूपुर, very good. राहिला, very good. Hmm. 1798. Yasir Ahmed, बहुत बढ़िया. Now we go for the easy question. How many poetries are there in lyrical ballads? And divide them. 4 are written by someone else and others are written by someone else. How many poetries are there? And who are the writers who have written those poetries? Come on, 10 seconds. Then we will go for other topics. Very good, Kamini Kapoor. Kamini 1796 नहीं है. वेरी गुड, बहुत बढ़िया. कितनी पोइट्रीज हैं लिरिकल बैलेट्स? कितनी पोइट्रीज हैं? 1698 शोशिक नील, नाम नील के साथ नीली हो जाएगा भाई, ऐसा मत करो। Those who have not subscribed, उनके मैसेज मेरे को शो और हाइड ऑप्शन के साथ आ रहे हैं। प्लीज सब्सक्राइब करो सो दैट मैं बार बार शो वाला क्लिक ना करूं। I cannot click all the answers ना। 4 by College is very good, lovely Singh। Dipti Sharma, 23 by Wordsworth, no, divide, this is the right answer। Saik Unnisa ने आंसर दिया है। 19 by Wordsworth, 4 by College। Saik Unnisa बहुत बढ़िया। रूप चिकारा बहुत बढ़िया, वेरी गुड। शबाना सिद्दीकी बहुत बढ़िया। नहीं, शबाना सिद्दीकी नो। शैली कहां से आ गया? ऐसे नहीं पढ़ना है। जितने लोग रॉन्ग आंसर दे रहे हैं वो मेरे ख्याल से न्यू स्टूडेंट है, बिकॉज आई यस्टरडे एक्सप्लेन्ड इट ऑल दिस थिंग्स इन अ प्रॉपर वे। एनीवे, सो लेट्स स्टॉप इट। सो फोकस। Wordsworth 1770, College 1772, then Southey 1774, Byron 1788, Shelley 1792, Keats 1795. And yesterday somebody texted me, Doctor, you have marked them all in an order. That's why if the order is changed, you will not be able to answer those things. तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, उल्टा चलते हैं। सबसे लास्ट में कीट्स आता है, बिकॉज मुझे नाम भी आता है। सबसे लास्ट में कीट्स आएगा 1795, then Shelley 1792, then Byron 1788, then Southey 1774, College 1772, Wordsworth 70, Walter Scott 1771. Walter Scott denied poet laureateship. That's why in 1813 Southey became poet laureate. Southey became poet laureate and died in 1843, where Wordsworth became poet laureate. Wordsworth died in 1850, then Tennyson became poet laureate. Now remember this point, that Tennyson has written greatest works, and Tennyson's famous work In Memoriam, which took approx 18 years to be completed. So technically, इनके धीरे धीरे connection बना लो। Charles Lamb 1775 है, Jane Austen 1775 है। Now in 1775, if you go in the depth, you will find out that Richard Sheridan was also writing, and he has written Rivals. So if you relate those things, you'll find out that there are many works, right? 1776, Adam Smith, An Inquiry into the Causes of Wealth of Nations. इस तरीके से book आ जाएगी. So technically, either you make a series or not. What I believe is that I wanted to be the very best man in remembering those things. I keep revising. So keep doing this. Now let's go. Chalo. Victorians. Put the title Victorians. I believe आपको romantic समझ में आ गए होंगे. Yeah, chalo, before I tell you, do you remember that Wordsworth was a poet supporting nature as a father figure? Then Wordsworth and Coleridge, they mystified it. Shelley and Byron found revolutionary spirit. So remember the 6 styles. Southey related it to myths and mythology, and Keats is the true romantic poet. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. A thing of beauty, joy forever. Truth is beauty, beauty is truth. That's all we know on this world, on this earth, and we need to know. So now we talk about the age where the population increased. Population increased, and this was the time of colonization. In 1800, Ireland became the part of Great Britain. So let me start making notes. लिखना शुरू कर दो. Ireland became the part of Great Britain in 1800. And this was the time that England actually surpassed all the standards and colonized thousands of colonies with some big patch of land. Australia. Then America was free, but America was very much influenced by British settlers. Then Greenland, India, everything was colonized. Now what happens? In England, because of the rise of population and the command in the aristocratic class, in the hands of aristocratic class, they launched Reform Act of 1832, 1834, and then Chartism of 1837. So बहुत सारे सरकारी reform हुए, electoral system reform हुआ. Initially, only the rich people with a land and a house were allowed to cast their votes. Then in the next reform, people with land and people with good government jobs or good sector job, they were also allowed to cast their votes. And the final reform, even the commoners were given the rights to cast their votes. But women, they will get the right to cast their vote in 1900s. Now in 1837, when Queen Victoria, she came to the throne, England was already at the heights. England was rule Britannia. रूल ब्रिटानिया रूल द वेव एंड इंग्लैंड विल नेवर बी स्लेव. लिखो इस लाइन को, वरना कोई आपको ये लाइन नहीं पढ़ाएगा. लिखो, रूल ब्रिटानिया रूल द वेव एंड इंग्लैंड विल नेवर बी स्लेव. This was the message, the Royal British Song, the Royal Song of Navy. अभी भी है. It was written by James Thomson बहुत पहले in 1748. This proved right and colonized 50 plus big countries plus thousands of colonies. When Queen Victoria started taking control of those colonies in her hand. Now the important point that you have to write, सबसे important point. We Indians were slave of East India Company. हम लोग ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के स्लेव थे. We were not the slave of Britishers. We were the slave of a private company, East India Company. That East India Company made unprecedented wealth. इतना पैसा कमाया उन्होंने. भी एक कंपनी के हाथ एक कंट्री लग गया. One company had one complete country. So this company was so rich that it started influencing the politics of Britain. जैसे अंबानी, अडानी, टाटा, बिरला चाहे तो हमारी पॉलिटिक्स की बैंड बजा देते हैं, करते ही हैं. इनको कुछ नहीं होता कोरोना वोरोना, या हम जैसे लोगों के लिए होता है. Now remember this thing. Sri Santi, I mean, I will teach Victorians and Elizabethans. Bismillah, English. We are very sorry. Kashmir में internet नहीं है. We are very sorry for this. I understand. Now remember this point. अब एक चीज और याद रखिएगा. In 1876, Queen Victoria took control of India in her hands and became Empress of India. So we became officially a colony of Britain in 1876. ये कोई नहीं बताएगा. Nobody will tell you this thing. So always remember, 1876 we officially became the slave or the colony of British Empire. Earlier we were simply a colony of a private company, East India Company. And one more thing, Queen Victoria became Empress of India in 1876 and was given Kesar-e-Hind. Kesar-e-Hind, the only women to have this title, Kesar-e-Hind. कोई पूछ लेगा पेपर में तो आपको आना चाहिए. Remember this thing. Now remember another point. This was the time of development, science. The steam engine started working. People started experimenting with parachutes and gliders. Transatlantic wire cable, transatlantic phone, पूरा तार बिछाया गया था समुद्र के अंदर. Queen Victoria made a phone call to the third president of America. सोचो. So it was the time of discoveries. It was the time of learning. It was the time of conditions related to science and religion. Science was advancing and people started losing their faith in religion. जैसे आजकल आप इंडिया के नकली बाबा देखोगे तो आपको भी लगेगा कि यार क्या फायदा है. जैसे रिमेंबर दिस थिंग कि आप एक चीज देखो, if science advances then we stop believing in something what we have never seen. Like today we are not that much religious we were earlier, and Victorian philosophers, Victorian thinkers were very much depressed. Then condition of women, upper class proper writers, they had plenty of chance to write, but the poor women, they were made to work for hours and hours. Remember this thing that women were considered second class citizen. औरतों को second class citizen समझा जाता था. उनसे बहुत ज्यादा काम करवाया जाता था. They were made to work for more hours in comparison of male, and their salary was given to their husband, their brothers. Then women had no rights on her property even after marriage. Then education for Victorian women was not an easy thing. It was only allowed if they could afford, plus it was allowed by the male member of the family, father, brother, husband, son. So condition of women in Victorians is not up to the mark, and this is something which has been studied by Sandra Gilbert and Susan Gubar. Please write this name. Sandra Gilbert, I'm writing it. Question आता है नेट में बार बार repeated question in net exam. Sandra Gilbert and Susan Gubar. Famous work, Mad Women in Attic. They have studied the condition of Victorian feminism. They have studied the condition of Victorian feminism. And they also declared this thing that women in Victorians were taken as second class citizens. So the concept of mad women in ethic, it actually came from Jane Eyre, a famous book written by Charlotte Bronte. If you remember Mr. Rochester, Jane Eyre, Helen Burns, when she says, "Reader, I married him." Question of NET exam. किस book में बोलते हैं "Reader, I married him"? Jane Eyre में. And the first direct address to the reader, breaking the fourth wall, accepting the presence of the reader and accepting her own role as a character. She says, "Reader, I married him." This is the concept. Now remember, Susan Gubar, Sandra Gilbert were studying mad women in ethic, primarily Bertha Mason, and jumped to the conclusion that in Victorians, female characters were divided in two prototypes. Please write down this thing. In Victorian age, female characters were divided in two big prototypes: angel or monster. According to these two writers, if the good women were portrayed in Victorian literature, they were extremely good. They were good to the extreme level. अगर वो अच्छी कैरेक्टर्स हैं, बहुत अच्छी हैं. तो वो कैथरीन है, वो एलिजाबेथ बेनेट है, सॉरी एलिजाबेथ है, नॉट बेनेट. बेनेट तो उसमें आएगी. एलिजाबेथ बेनेट विल बी इन चेन ऑस्टिन्स प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस. Sorry. If they are good, they are extremely good. If they are bad, they are extremely bad. So women was not taken as a normal human being with full of drawbacks, full of good things, moralities and all. They were given extreme prototype images. If you're good, then extremely good. If you're bad, then extremely bad. Let's go for the very good characters. Emilia Sedley. Thackeray's Vanity Fair has a character, Emilia Sedley. And Thackeray's Vanity Fair has another character, Rebecca Sharp. Emilia Sedley is extremely good character, like an angel. And Rebecca Sharp is just like a monster. So this was the concept, that good women were told to be like an angel. Now there was a question in NET exam. Mostly people, they don't teach you, they don't talk about these things. Who has written Angel in the House? A famous writer, Coventry Petmore. I'm writing the name here for you. Coventry Petmore. कोई नहीं पढ़ाता आपको. इनफैक्ट किसी मार्केट गाइड बुक में भी नहीं है. दिस इज द रीजन यू शुड जॉइन क्लासेस, बिकॉज ये आपको पासबुक में भी नहीं मिलेगा. सो Coventry Petmore has written Angel in the House, and the concept was that a woman should be an angel in the house. And how a woman can be an angel in the house? By giving her best to her in-laws, to give her services, her attendance, her love, sympathy, empathy, and her prayers. Keep fasting for your husbands. This is how you become the angel in the house. कभी सोचा है कि औरतें हमारे लिए फास्ट रखती हैं, चाहे मम्मियां हो, चाहे बीवियां हो, सिस्टर्स हमारे लिए फास्ट रखती हैं. लड़के कहाँ फास्ट रखते हैं? किसी के लिए नहीं रखते. टीवी शो में जरूर होता है. एंड seriously, this lockdown thing, sometimes I have to watch the TV soaps. So sorry. आज का दिन याद आ गया. Some mother-in-law in the daily soap came to gift something to daughter-in-law. Then 5 women, they were like making faces, and they wasted 5 minutes showing everybody's face. And I was like, why? Why don't you continue the story? अरे दीक्षा जी, आपकी शादी हो जाएगी, आप रखेंगे फास्ट. ये भारतीय समाज है भाई, आपको सिखा दिया जाएगा. सुरभि राजपाल, मैं नवरात्रि के फास्ट रखता हूँ. यस, बिकॉज आई वांट टू थैंक गॉड फॉर गिविंग मी अ वेरी गुड लाइफ. गुड लाइफ का मतलब पता है क्या होता है? यू इंस्पायर पीपल. If you have never inspired even a single person in your life, it's a complete waste. So thank God मैं 10-20 लोगों को तो inspire करता हूँ. I know. Come on girls, फास्ट नहीं रखेंगे आज के बाद. Feminism जिंदाबाद. आप लोग की फैमिली बोलेगी क्या पढ़ाते हो ये? Why are you teaching all these things? या अरे अनिरुद्ध मेरी शादी नहीं होगी यार, मैं मांगलिक हूँ, काय को टेंशन ले रहे हो तुम, और होगी भी तो बताऊंगा नहीं। होगी भी तो बताऊंगा नहीं, डोंट वरी, आई कीप इट प्राइवेट। वैसे भी गूगल पे विनीत पांडे वाइफ सर्च करके वो काफी उसमें सर्च लिस्ट में आता है। माय असिस्टेंट टेल्स मी सर दिस इज आल्सो बीइंग सर्च्ड। और मुझे अब तो लग रहा है वैसे भी नहीं होगी, 6-7-8 महीने लॉकडाउन होने वाला है। तो दुनिया सारी फिलोसोफर बन जाएगी तब तक। यावर बहुत बढ़िया चीज है, और रमजान के फास्ट रखना तो बहुत टफ होता है, बहुत टफ होता है। मेरे कश्मीर के बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स थे, वो बेचारे फास्ट रखते थे 30 दिन, और क्रिकेट भी खेल लेते थे हमारे साथ, और बहुत हिम्मत थी उनमें, बहुत हिम्मत। हर्षिता पांडे, मम्मी पापा को प्रणाम कह दीजिए मेरा। चलो, तो अब हम जो बात कर रहे थे वो क्या थी, कि एंजल और मॉन्स्टर टाइप जो कैरेक्टर है, उसमें कैसे एंजलिक और मॉन्स्टर बनाया गया। नाउ व्हाई अ वुमन इज द एंजल इन द हाउस, बिकॉज शी हैज फॉरगॉटन हरसेल्फ एंड गिवन हर बेस्ट to husband, to in-laws. Now, this was the concept of 19th century. This poetry got circulated in hand to hand. And every person, every family wanted their girl, their daughter to be the angel in the house. But now the 21st century concept has totally changed. In 21st century, we question the value of angel. Why are you an angel in the house? Because you have no identity. Because you have forgotten yourself, you keep thinking about others, you have no future, and you will never be able to stand as a woman alone. And who said this is angel in the house? Angel word coined by male patriarchy. Will you coin a word angel for yourself? And if male knows that devoting the life is called angel, the one who devotes it, then why the male is not doing the same thing for a woman? Then why the male is not trying to be the angel in the house? So this was the concept that the most widely circulated poetry of 19th century, angel in the house, it actually became the most hated poetry of 21st century. Angel in the house is actually an insult, because this is how we are actually politically confusing women and insulting her sacrifice by calling her angel in the house. Instead of calling her angel, we must give her chances to develop her identity. This is really wrong that we relate women to kitchen only. This is really wrong. We must liberate them. And here today's homework is you have to read A Doll's House. A Doll's House written by Henrik Ibsen. आपको पढ़ना है, ये बहुत अच्छा वर्क है. I'm writing the name, Henrik Ibsen. Doll's House को पढ़ो. It's a story of a woman. She realizes that she has no identity, and then finally she is ready to leave her house for her identity. So read it, find out what happens, and also remember that tomorrow I'll be teaching you Victorian writers, Victorian compromise, and other things. And then after modern and postmoderns. After this, we will start discussing literary theory. All the new students who are here, you will get enough idea. I will tell you what to read, what not, the important writers also. And those who are willing to join us in a proper way, in a proper and regular form, then contact my manager on 85870 We recently have started a batch on 5th of April. And if you join it immediately, you will get the audios and private videos also. All the students who are looking for more content, there is a private video session which goes by 6 to 7. Today I completed Horace by teaching poetic license, decorum, purple patch, carpet and philosophy, and the theory of 9 years. So I'm doing my duty as a teacher. I'm doing my duty as an Indian citizen here. Thank you so much for bearing up with me, for loving me, for boosting my confidence. Thank you. Jai Bharat, Jai India. दोनों अलग अलग हैं. जय भारत, जय इंडिया.